furnace. Because ain't nothing worse when your toilet won't flush, your lights go out.
When your pipes bust.
Yeah, your neighbors are gonna love you. Know what's below? Call 811 before you dig. Help us hit 50 and 5. More at pa1call.org.
You may be ready for retirement, but is your money? Learn how to make your money work overtime. Tune in to The Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen. Saturdays at 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All that you need to do is just push pound 1210 and we'll get you on board. So Paul Herr, who is the colleague of Tom Barron's, who we had on yesterday, was on Fox and Friends this morning, and one of the takeaways about Walls was he went outside the chain of command to be doing this retirement before deployment. In other words, the other people, the other sergeant, brigade sergeant, people of that rank, they had no knowledge of this. It was sudden. They were going to be going off to war in the near future, and they also resented that. Now, you could say, no one's going to care about all this stuff in the end. Well, I'm already telling you, just the sound we have of the stuff that he said over the years on various shows, C-SPAN and others, are creating a trail that he was going above and beyond what his military service was. Here's an example of it. Here's Tim Waltz on his military service, mentions his unit now being in Iraq.
Actually, it was based on the educational system in Minnesota was one that we kind of aspired to teach in. So I ended up in southern Minnesota. My wife's been there for many generations.
And your military background?
I spent 24 years in the National Guard, some of that full-time. I was an artilleryman. I deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. My battalion provided base security throughout the European theater from Turkey to England in the early stages of the war in Afghanistan. And that same battalion is now in Iraq at this time.
Next call, Lawton, Oklahoma.
Well, you know, the suggestivity of this, and we have a veteran who went to his congressional office and just asked them to stop bringing up Afghanistan, Enduring Freedom, and all this and clarify it. They had full notice of this, and they wouldn't do it. And as I said, this Paul Herr was another guy in the National Guard during that period of time. There were severe injuries. There were deaths. We talked to Barron's about that yesterday. So this is a test to see if people do care about this. Now, I played you the fact checker on CNN. I'm not saying CNN is going full bore on this, not at all. But there have been some NBC News outlets and others who have put it out there. And the question is, how routinely did this guy do this? Because there's still cachet. They're holding this guy out there as being a unicorn. They're saying he's a progressive. But progressives can be normal, down to earth. And when you look at him, and look at the wife with the burning tires, do these sound like normal people? Do normal people tell you snitch lines are like the fire department? They're not normal. He's not normal. Progressivism isn't normal. That's the point. It can't be what it's based on. They're trying to sell it as that. And this is more of something that undercuts him. Again, when you use stolen valor, it's a legal term that is criminal, but there are usages of it that get at the fact that people in the military are very sensitive to this because of the sacrifice, sometimes their life, that can be involved. This is different than saying I threw a football 40 yards when it was only 38. Well, maybe. Which one, Dan?
I've heard if you want
to. Yeah, we got some. Yeah, it's just from Fox and Friends this morning.
Yep.
Yeah, here's Paul Herr.
is wrong?
Well, he continually claims that he's a retired sergeant major. He's not. He's a retired master sergeant. We continue, when the deployment first came up, we started having meetings as command sergeant majors and operations sergeant majors to collectively get our training facts together, because we were, that's part of what we do as sergeant majors, is being subject matter experts in our fields and also responsible for the training of the soldiers that carry out the orders of the officers appointed over us to go into battle.
Right.
That's a pretty high priority for us, and he consistent. We were aware of his campaign bid in some order of fashion, being that it was his first one, and he consistently told us, his fellow sergeant majors at the time, that he was going to go on the deployment. You could, as I remember him saying, you can count on us. And at the same time, having backroom conversations with other people, other entities inside the Minnesota National Guard to ensure that he could retire. He subverted the chain of command. He went around the chain of command. The brigade sergeant major had no clue. These are all important facts, and he did it to continually feather his own bed.
All right. Now, they're important facts to me, and if you're in the military, I bet they are very important facts to you. The other side, and here is Yamiche Alcindor, who is one of the worst. She's the PBS woman. This is Cut 5. Now she's at NBC. With Trump, she was. She's making a point here that, well, you know what? I'll summarize this one, Dan, because there's a lot of fluff in there. She's making the point, notice the Harris people have not engaged directly on this. They could have walls, just read a statement, or just say at an event, hey, you know what? These people, these clowns on the other side, I served our country 24 years, National Guard. Look at what they do. Look at these slurs. They're coming after me. They're trying to do it. They did it before to great Democrats like John Kerry and others. They're not doing that because they recognize here that this is a pattern with this guy. And it's one thing to do it, the overkill of politicians, always inflating stuff. Let's face it, we're all, we kid about the 40-yard football throw. Dan started that. I really thought I could throw it.
What do you mean kid?
I'm
100% serious when we're talking.
Well, I thought 40 yards was not as far as it is.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Yeah.
That's one thing. But when you're dealing with the military type of stuff and you blow it up even a little bit, if we don't say that's a zone you can't go, we're dishonoring the military. Isn't that what it comes down to? Now, you could say, well, America doesn't care. They're not going to care. Well, that's not my problem. My problem is to talk about what's in front of us, and that progressives are weirdos. Progressives are not normal. How in the world could you be normal and believe the things they believe? A CBS headline, Dan, gets me. CBS National headline, period poverty, that people can't afford a product to protect them that time of the month, tampon. They put that as the headline. That's what we're complaining. We're not complaining about, at least I'm not, tampons in that's right. And they cut me on the floor. They left the Dom Giordano interview
great
on the
Sunday
floor.
morning topic.
Yeah, great Sunday morning topic, right, yeah. We're complaining about the fact he was putting tampons in boys' bathrooms in elementary school. That's where the issue is. Now, the other side wants to say, well, what are you going to do if you're a transgendered kid? Well, I don't think you're needing a tampon if you're a boy in an elementary school. I'm just saying scientifically that doesn't seem to be the case, right?
You ever use one for a nosebleed? They are kind of useful for that.
In all the years of talk radio, tampons for nosebleeds.
Elbowed in the nose,
All right, Borowski was quoted today saying, hey,
I've never tried it before.
I like Tim.
Out of pure necessity, I've done it. It's a good solution.
I like Tim Waltz. I mean, he knows that tampons can help nosebleeds.
How do I get out the nose?
So right there, CBS, the bias, as if we're attacking him and poor kids who don't have a tampon. No, it's not about that. Progressivism is weirdoism. I bet there's nobody listening right now, Dan, who considers himself a progressive. They would say, like Bill Maher, I'm a liberal.
Yeah.
If you label yourself a progressive, that's hard to imagine.
You don't think anyone hate listens?
Oh, true.
You know?
Okay, maybe, yeah. They're seething.
The adage from Private Parts on Howard Stern, the time spent listening.
The hateful.
Yeah.
I've experienced that. I told you, the Bugle Boy, I don't know if he's still out there, Dan.
Yeah.
When the police showed up because he was harassing and he brought up Roe and the kids, he said, well, just don't listen, then you won't get angry. And he told them, I have to listen.
Why is he the Bugle Boy? Where'd the name come from?
That's his name.
Oh, okay.
He was mad because I said certain neighborhoods didn't put up flags during 9/11, when we were hit on 9/11.
Yeah.
Other neighborhoods have more flags. That set him off on a 2-year tirade that the dignitary squad had to go out and calm him down. Well, don't listen. You know what hours he's on. Just don't have the radio around it. I have to listen. Okay.
No choice. Yeah.
No choice.
It's addicted to Dom.
855-839-1210. Hit us on the side question 2.
Dom, you're a classy guy.
And it is running about 2/3 of people saying, in the end, this will not matter at all. Now, whether he's taken off the ticket or not, that's a longer shot. Does it matter, though? Yes, it matters. The instincts of Fox talking about this absolutely are on point. There are plenty of people out there that care. Why is it then that we actually have criminal penalties for something you say? In other words, if you exaggerate your record and you do it in a way that's provable, you could go to jail for that. You could be fined for that. Why is it that America passed that and has done that if stolen valor is not a big deal? There are very few crimes where you're blowharding a little bit, that you're going to go to jail for. This is one of them. That's what could happen. 855-839-1210. You get in. Let's talk about Batteries Plus bulbs. At Batteries Plus in Mount Laurel and Northfield, my friend Roy is looking for help. Now, this is a great owner, great guy that you'll work with. He's looking for maybe a handy do-it-yourselfer would be ideal. Great low-pressure, part-time, even full-time job if you want. Customer service is the key. If you're willing to do what it takes to help, you need to talk to Roy. Be part of the team at Batteries Plus. They power it, they light it, they fix it. They fix anything technically, and if you have a business, you want to partner, energy audit, this is the place to go. So if you'd like to join that team or at least talk to Roy, call 856-638-0778. 856-638-0778. Batteries Plus bulbs, Mount Laurel and Northfield.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
Hi everyone, Matt here from Emmons Roofing and Siding. There are a lot of companies out there that say they do roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Some good, some not so good. Be careful of those that say buy 2, get 2 free. Does that really make sense? Think about it. At Emmons, we don't offer gimmicks, just quality products installed by our experienced craftsmen. We do offer 12 months, same as cash financing though. That's not a gimmick. That's because we know how tough it is for some people right now to get these projects done. If you need roofing, siding, or windows and doors, call us for a free estimate today at 856-885-6677 or visit us at callemmons.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Josh Shapiro is back to just being Pennsylvania governor after flirting with being Kamala Harris's running mate. New Philadelphia teachers went through orientation 2 weeks out from the new school year, and the Phillies got back to winning ways after 3 Kyle Schwarber home runs as they beat the Dodgers 9-4 and won the series.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
I am Judith Krupnik, president of Cherry Hill Volvo. I drive an absolutely fabulous XC90 hybrid, the best of both electric and internal combustion. It's really an incredible Volvo. We are offering a $15,000 discount when leasing any 2024 XC90 hybrid in stock. If ever an XC90 was on your list, now is the time to visit Cherry Hill Volvo. $15,000.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom Giordano. This guy Walz really has offered Republicans a reset opportunity. And you know, one of the things he's doing that it shows you the bias of the media. Look, Trump has done some pretty rough stuff at rallies, et cetera, around people. And Michelle Obama always says, when they go low, we go high, right? Not with this Walz guy, not with the couch stuff. They love it with J.D. Vance. But this guy's folksy when he does it. Dan, you can tell. I mean, I have not despised, just on first sight, anybody in quite this long. I know people get wound up with Hillary Clinton. You know, it's the usual. This guy Walz, though, sets me off. He's folksy. Snitch lines. It's like a fire at the house. We're just helping you out. Neighborly. Hey, neighbor, socialism is just being neighborly.
There's a very local comparison that we haven't drawn to this guy.
Okay.
That he really won on this and tried to pull off, I'm a South Philly folksy Irish guy, Mayor Jim Kenney.
Yeah.
You know, he tries to play off like I'm the every guy moderate, and then he comes
Right.
into office and he pulls off the progressive crap.
True.
That's what you're going to get
Yeah.
here from the vice president, too.
And it's, you know, this guy, though, is better at doing it because he thinks he's masquerading by putting. How about Matt Rooney's guy picking up, though?
Yeah.
I need to hear from some people. Do you wear the hat of another group? Particularly, it says special operations, like something bigger than you did. So my point is, you think that, Dan, I've run into this with these guys, and I've even counseled. So David Petraeus once asked me about running for president. Now, I was a little bit off because he's a fanatic. We were running. I may have told an untruth that I could keep up to an 8.5-minute mile for 4 miles, but it was a chance to run with the general. I know, Dan, it made you pass out in there.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So he goes back to the women who are running with Uzis, Dan, in place.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, looks like Dom's having trouble catching up. Trouble catching up. I was ready to just hurl all over the place after 2 miles at that. I can't run that.
Did you actually run the entire distance?
No, but I
Okay.
did about 2.5 miles, Dan, at about 8.5 minutes.
So how did it end? Did you just like trail off?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he said go back to the base. They would finish up.
Was
mean,
there chafing?
No, there was no chafing,
that's
but
good.
I was proud of myself. I did 2 miles in about 17 minutes.
Okay.
That's not bad. You know, particularly under
But
that
would I
kind
do
of
1
dress.
mile in? So no. Not
Yeah,
bad at all.
so he was asking me about being president, and I said, if you do that, be prepared. The scrutiny. You probably think you're scrutinized now. You know, he was a 4-star general, internationally famous, the whole thing. The presidential scrutiny is different. So this guy was scrutinized on all this stuff in Minnesota, but now you have a national look, and you have people like Matt Rooney and others pointing out things. I didn't notice that when we saw that picture of him, Murphy, and Beto O'Rourke there. Special operations hat. Did he do that to honor somebody? No, he was just playing around with it, apparently. There's a pattern with this guy. And one of the things he's doing is he is saying it's going to be bare-knuckled. like the couch sex and J.D. Vance, and they're all laughing about it. Okay, you want to do that. And can we joke about Kamala Harris thing? Can we joke about the second gentleman? Can we joke about anything? Let's see how that plays out, all right? In other words, this guy's gotten a pass being the folksy socialist in his goofball Minnesota. Let's see how this plays out there nationally. And who's the weirdo? J.D. Vance, or a guy who wants to give tampons to 8-year-old males in elementary school?
Not for nosebleeds.
Not for nosebleeds. Hey, kid, there might be a nosebleed. Hey, by the way, look at my special operations hat that I have on here.
Yeah, you don't want to whip out the Vietnam hat from time to time? You know?
Exactly.
Switch it up with the Captain Chucky's hat that I wear?
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
No way.
Let's go to Big Jim in Warrington. Jim's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jim, good morning.
Hey, Dom, good afternoon. Dave, good afternoon. I appreciate you taking my call. I got 2 points, and I won't be long-winded here. I never heard of this guy up until like 3 days ago, and I hate him. I mean, I'm just like, let me preface. I was a member of the 101st Airborne Division during Vietnam, and when I hear this military stuff, Dom, it raises the bile in my stomach. First of all, National Guard typically serves 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks in the summer. I guess you're aware of that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So for a guy to serve 22 years, 24 years, fully 1/3 of his life, and this is what he's going to be remembered by for those 24 years, is the fraud that he's tried to commit. And when his unit finally gets called up to active duty, I mean, he turns tail and runs. And I mean, that's anybody in the military, now or then, would find that despicable. I don't know what percentage of the population in the military, current or former, is going to vote for that team, but I can't imagine it's going to be over 10%. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're going to have a hard time, Jim, to your point, doing this. It is a big deal, and it's not a one-off. Anybody could mess up a little bit. We all get fired up if you're giving a political speech. It's a pattern with this guy, and the biggest tell is this. He went around everybody. He didn't want to go to Iraq. Somehow or another, he suggested to this one reporter out there that he was in Afghanistan on top of it. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing I can say is stolen honor, stolen valor is a crime if you go too far with it, and not too many things that you verbalize are. And that tells us how this country feels about it. So, Jim, thank you. Thanks for the call, and certainly thanks for your service.
One more thing.
Yes.
One more thing. First of all, Cabbage Patch Kids were the one thing that only lasted for a very short period of time. I don't know if you took that off the board.
We did not. Jim Kelly told me it during the break. That tells you it's a good one.
Okay, and the last thing I was going to say was, if Tim Walz was my football coach and the opposing team had bulletin board material saying you got tampons in your locker room, we're going to kick your butt. I mean, that would be the end of the day for me. You guys have a great day. I love you.
Nosebleeds, Jim.
Nosebleed. I don't know if they do bulletin boards anymore. I don't know if they do it online about the other team here.
You're tougher that your nosebleed so much
Well,
you need tampons in the locker room, you know?
He even did that, Dan, when he said he took my team to a national championship. A state championship. They won, but he was the defensive coordinator. You know? You think Dick Fangio, if they win the Super Bowl, is going to say,
Fangio.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to say, or the offensive coordinator, I won the Super Bowl? By the way, Jalen Hurts calling up a guy on the Giants, Wink Martindale. Did he think it was a quiz show or what? Did you see that?
That's a great joke. Wink Martindale does sound like a quiz show host.
He was.
And now Wink Martindale.
He called Martindale because of what was going on with the Eagles. He's on the Giants.
Why'd he call him?
To know what to do about the offense, apparently.
I was going to save it for Dan time, but you saw the big news today?
What is that?
Huge news. Your boy retired. Officially.
It's crazy to be in this moment, looking at this camera, officially announcing my retirement from the NFL. From the first day I was born, my dad put a football in my hand.
Oh, my God. No.
Yeah.
That's it. No, wait a minute.
Sad,
this
right?
is the biggest outrage imaginable.
Yeah, he broke it an hour ago. The Eagles will honor him at the season open against the Falcons.
Well,
they're talking on WIP right now whether or not they should retire the number 9.
As much as I love the guy, that's too much.
Really?
Yeah, that's too much.
Guy has a statue outside.
The statue, I get, is more about the moment of the thing. Retiring the number, though, for Nick Foles, that's a...
You want more of the audio?
Yeah.
And he must have known something, because that became a dream of mine since I've been a kid, to play in the NFL, and I will be forever grateful for that. It's been such a special privilege to play for Philadelphia, St. Louis, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Chicago, and Indianapolis. To the fans of the NFL around the world, thank you for making the game so special. Y'all are the ones that bring the energy in the stadiums. Thank you. Specifically, thank you to the Philadelphia Eagles fans. Thank you for all your support from 2012 when I was drafted to 2017 when I came back. You truly made playing in Philadelphia the most special experience in my football career. To all the coaches I had in my career.
We'll say more for, I don't want to rain on Dan. I didn't hear that, Dan.
Yeah.
It's time for another Politics and Pints. Was that the number one? Well,
I think it has to be.
We got Don Trump Jr. Coming. I don't know if he'll throw a football. Remember, September 12th. Big stuff with that. So who knows where we'll be by that point. Go to 1210 WPHT right now to get your tickets. All right, now's the time to get Rescue Natural supplements during their annual Customer Appreciation Sale. Rescue is celebrating you. Save 50% when you mix and match any 5 products or more with the code VIP50. Plus, you'll get free shipping. Try the popular Rescue 1250 Omega-3s for heart health, Rescue Probiotic for better digestion, or Rescue Oracine for more energy. Again, mix and match any 5 or more single bottles and enjoy 50% off plus free shipping. To place an order, visit res-q.com or call 800-26-ALIVE. Again, that's 800-262-5483. Speak to a knowledgeable Rescue product consultant. And if you're new to Rescue, be sure to create your own account to earn more exclusive savings. Use that code VIP50 to receive 50% off and free shipping when you mix and match 5 or more Rescue Natural supplements. Use that code VIP50 at res-q.com.
The Phillies are hot.
The pitch swung on in the air, deep left center field, and that ball is gone as Alec Bohm has turned the game around.
And Friday night, you'll hear them here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It's in the pitch, blasted down the right field line, and that ball is gone. Harper has hit the 3-run home run to break it wide open.
Catch the Phils and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Coverage starts Friday night at 9:05 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and on the free Odyssey app.
40 days up to 40 pounds. Say it with me, 40 days up to 40 pounds. Visit njdiet.com or call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. 40 days up to 40 pounds. 40 days up to 40 pounds.
Are you tired of that dated old kitchen or bathroom? Ready for a refresh? Then you need to give Kitchen Magic a call. They've been transforming spaces quickly, beautifully, and affordably since 1979. From refacing to custom cabinets, backsplash counters, yes, you can get the kitchen you want now, right now. They're offering 12 months of no payments, no interest financing, with 10% off your remodel. Schedule your free in-home design consultation today at kitchenmagic.com. That's kitchenmagic.com.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
For eligible individuals 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Selects Premium Package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/try. That's JABRA Enhance.com/try. JabraEnhance.com/try.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Hit us in that. Don't wait to the end of the show. You got a great answer to the side question today. National Pickleball Day. Some trend, maybe one you can't understand how that happens. All right, I gave you a couple of mine. Cabbage Patch Kids is a good one. Socialism comes back again and again and again like it's something new. But is this something that's going to be a significant impediment to this guy Walz? All right, and I agree with the past caller. There's something about this guy, the fact that he's folksy. He can say whatever he wants. Look, politics is hardball. If they want to joke about J.D. Vance having sex with a couch, go right ahead. Okay, go right ahead. But we don't want to hear about a mean tweet then, do we? They're all yucking it up with that. The weirdo type of stuff from progressives, which by definition is humorless weirdos. Not liberals, progressives. And that's what this guy is. Let's go to Sam in Radnor, who lived in Minnesota for about 8 years. Hey, Sam, welcome in.
Hey, Dom, how you doing?
Good.
You know me from, I was the actor in Hollywood. I also lived I married a girl from Minneapolis. It was part of the Pillsbury family, so I was in that higher echelon, if you will. But even they, it always amazed me that everybody out in Minnesota, I don't know why, are just screamingly liberal and progressive. I could never get used to it. And I was an more than occasional talk show host on WCCO when I was there. And, this guy called up one day, I'll never forget it. He was a congressman then, and he was talking about how marvelous it is that Minneapolis was a sanctuary for Somalians. Well, that's true, and it's all well and good, but the fact is that even way before 2020, there's been incredible tension in that city within the Somalian community.
And see, to that point, I was a fill-in host on that station, and I remember the Somali.
Oh, there you go.
The Somali taxi cab drivers refused to pick up people at the airport if it involved the duty-free shop, the liquor thing. They weren't going to pick them up then.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I didn't realize you were out there, Joe. Well, we got to get together and talk about that. Anyway, I think everything is spot on your show. I listen to it every day, and I wish this guy is. I hope he's called out for what he is. Because
he's going to be. Thank you, Sam, very much. Just for point, I didn't go to the Windy. It's not the Windy City, the frozen tundras, Dan. I was doing it from a comfy studio.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You're doing it remotely?
Yeah, I was on in about 7 or 8 different cities. Ooh, Pittsburgh.
Wow.
It's a rough audience sometimes in Pittsburgh, yeah. New York, really tough.
When you were doing Bohannon, I'm sure you were also in there, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The guy was all over the
O'Reilly.
country. Yeah.
O'Reilly was in 400 markets, so yeah. All right, so it's 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. This guy Walz. How big of a deal is this? Does this maintain itself? And CNBC poll out today that shows Trump with a 2-point lead over Harris. How much of a point lead, though, when it comes to the economy? We'll get into that. Special guest, Dan, how would you describe this guy at 1:30? He's a Republican candidate in Virginia for Congress, right?
Yep, Navy captain, Dom. And Hung Kao, he had to actually, he got contacted by an anonymous person over at the Pentagon asking for him to prove his combat service. He had to jump through hoops to essentially prove his points. And meanwhile, Governor Walz is over here waltzing around with these claims, and essentially the media is covering for him. So complete double standard that we're going to talk about here.
Absolutely. That's at 1:30, all straight ahead on Talk Radio 1210.
How did your son or daughter do in school this year? These summer months is the time to make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Prepare your student for back to school now. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders like high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
Hey, daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
Tomorrow's 9:40 Phillies Diamondbacks game can be heard on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. The Phillies are on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT tomorrow.
Mr. Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra.
Joel Embiid is excited.
The process marches on.
Oh, George, welcome to Philadelphia.
Morris, hallelujah.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Cherokee High School in Marlton, New Jersey, Saturday, October 26th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com.
The Sixers will prevail.
Oh, baby! joeconklin.com.
Seems everyone has an opinion on where the stock market is going, but where should you be going? Find out with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. And again, day, 19, if I'm advising the Kamala Harris campaign. Got to face it, I'm not doing any news conference. I'm not doing any sit-down interview. Are you crazy? Can't do it. Got to coast somehow or another here. So Trump trying to ratchet that up today by doing his own news conference at 2 o'clock. And is the media showing signs of agitation, irritation that she won't talk? No, not really. So we'll see. Can you coast to the presidency? I think they might just try to go all the way. And if you want a safe interview, even somewhat tongue-in-cheek yesterday, let's face it, go to Howard Stern. Is Howard Stern going to push back on Kamala Harris? I don't think so. I don't think he's redeemable when it comes to this. He wouldn't want to be engaging in that. Now, would he throw softballs quite like he did with Hillary Clinton? Maybe it wouldn't get that far. But Trump doing this in Florida, of course. And I'm not sure if it'll be a bunch. I don't know if it's a White House correspondent. Probably not. It'll be a bunch of other. And I think he'll take questions from just about everybody. Now, we'll underline the point that Harris can't do this. You just can't. You know it. We've seen her unmasked in the slightest manner possibly. So why is Trump doing it? Well, I get it. I'm sitting here saying that this bubble will burst a bit after the convention. We're already seeing some things in play, a reset for Republicans with Walz. He's helpful in that manner, but clock is ticking. And getting this out there around Harris, what she's really all about, is increasingly difficult as they run out the clock and refuse to be asked or talked about it. Yesterday, they had a phalanx of Girl Scouts in front of the plane as the media is shouting questions. And Harris is bending down to shake hands and covered by the Girl Scouts. Oh, my goodness.
We've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
Well, all right. So we played you the full thing, and it's even worse. She can't do it. So what's the damage here? Is the media really going to say this is damaging? Not so much. The damage, if she does it, will be a whole lot greater. I don't think the Walz guy, Mr. Folksy, maybe he'll go on with Stern, the Walz guy, and tell him about snitch lines. And Robin, snitch lines. Yeah, why didn't we think of that? I predict one of them's going to go on with somebody like that, or one of those that podcast that has pod in it. They might do something like that, just to say we did it. Check that box and move forward. But the Trump news conference today, no holds barred, will be interesting. We'll bring you a little bit of that around 2 o'clock. Now, Larry Krasner, the sins of Larry Krasner, we know about. Here's the most recent, though. He has, due to a judge going wild over this, now agreed, Dan, that Officer Mark Dial, a police officer who was put in an untenable situation because of the craziness that goes on in Kensington, ended up fatally shooting Eddie Irizarry during a traffic stop in Kensington last year. Had it was tossed originally, and then they brought it back. Now the first-degree murder charge, a judge has demanded to continue this in a timely manner, that they drop it to third degree. The reason is this. Larry Krasner was bringing in an expert on use of force by police, did not tell the defense about this, giving them no time to prepare. The judge said this, Judge Glenn B. Bronson, direct quote, "Why didn't you tell them you were hiring an expert? You made him," meaning the cop, "sit in jail for 10 to 11 months as this was going on." This man, his hatred of police is clear, it is obvious. But he represents, sadly, significant numbers, and again, particularly progressives. They hate the police. That's part of the top 10. I'm going to have to do the big list of what it means to be a progressive. Probably number 1 is to be humorless. But to hate the police. Now, they may never, how dare you say it. Call and tell me otherwise. Get them out of here. Get the police out of here. Defund them. You hate the police as he does.
Get him out. Get him out of here.
Imagine keeping this cop in jail for 10 or 11 months, the judge brings up. So if you want to go forward with this guy's got to be allowed out of jail because he can be allowed out for third degree. He can post bond. He can post bail. Imagine this guy put in a situation of life and death there in a craziness like Kensington, Krasner salivating. And if he can't convict, which one is Krasner wanting to convict and get, in his view, justice more? This cop or the killer of the Temple police officer, Officer Fitzgerald, Sergeant Fitzgerald? You know which one. He's scheming with the Buckingham punk to figure out how to get him out of jail at some point, maybe 20 years from now. Not life imprisonment. Certainly not the death penalty. But with this cop, he sat on the fact that he was rigging up this expert to cinch the case about police use of force. I can imagine this guy put in this situation when the other officer yells gun and he's unsure and shoots him. A guy who was mentally had difficulties, driving the wrong way, resisting the police, middle of Kensington. None of those things matter. It's a cop. Make him sit in jail. And you got to realize, if you're a cop like that in a jail setting, you got to have your back every day wondering what's going to happen to you. 10 to 11 months. Even the judge said yesterday, that's it. Third-degree murder. You can't keep this guy in there. He's going to be able to post bond. So that's what's going on with Mark Dial. But that's what goes on with Larry Krasner. And to the point we've been talking about with progressives. This is their mentality. Harris wants to defund the police, bailed out people who were burning down Minnesota. The folksy jokester, Walls, definitively did all that. His wife wanted to smell the tires. This is what they're about. They are not normal. He's not the normal dad, the normal Midwest guy. None of that. He's folksier than Larry Krasner. I can't imagine Larry Krasner being folksy. Right? Oh, God, yeah. At least he doesn't make women with walkers stand there as he pontificates on the stage on the spot.
Is he still doing the squares?
Oh, he still does the squares.
He still does the squares.
He still does the squares every single time. People are looking down to make sure their feet are on it. All right, phone lines to get in. 855-839-1210. Imagine this judge, though, saying, I've had it. You're going to let this guy go, or you're going to go third-degree murder. And they eventually decided to go that, so I think he's out on bond now, I hope. Mark Dial is out. Not going to tell them about this use of force witness, and that was a thing that kept this going in jail for 10 or 11 months. Doesn't care. He's going to make that cop suffer every second that he can. And he believes that's justice, this sick DA. But when it comes to the Buckingham punk, well, we have to have a different standard. He's disturbed. He's only this age, that age. Tell that to the Fitzgeralds. Does this guy get reelected? Maybe. All right, phone lines 855-839-1210. Side question today. A trend like pickleball. Today's National Pickleball Day. Coming up, I do want to tell you about this notion that yesterday Vice President Harris had a sister soldier moment. Dan, you never heard that before, did you?
No, I have. I'm laughing at Paula Dean being an answer on Twitter for something that exploded in popularity that Marcus Aurelius never understood.
That is a pretty good
one. It's a very random answer there.
Yeah. And again, we're hearing Fox completely out of step. Now, which cable network is number one overwhelmingly? Fox. They're going in great detail today to Tim Walt's military record, up and down the line, and all the stories that are breaking. It's hard to keep at my desk here, keep up with them, right? The others, like MSNBC, they're trying to dismiss them directly, and CNN is trying to pretty much diminish them, I would say.
What's coming up at the news conference for Trump?
Just about anything in the news, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't think he brings out Barron's, do you?
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, bring out. Well, He's got his own military type of thing. You would do that with J.D. Vance.
It's true.
Yeah. You would bring J.D. Vance in to engage in that. But this guy Walsh, though, one caller already said it, Dan. What is it about him? He's only the VP choice. If it were Josh Shapiro, I get worked up because he's local and because he's a great chameleon and all that. This guy, though, actually sets me. He's a blowhard of the highest order, pitching a product that America can't possibly embrace, no matter how folksy you are. I just don't believe socialism is going to win, no matter how clever you think you are with it. It hasn't won in the past. All right, 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. And one other item, too, of local note, and Dan's father was all over this story, sent it to us. The Camden County Police Department is going to consolidate with the Woodland Police Department. Now, I only know Woodland, Dan. We go to a place over in Collingswood that we like that's near the Scottish Rite. And I have to make a U-turn there if we forget that we made the wrong turn. And that's Woodland to me. But Woodland is losing its police department. And usually I would be dead set against this, but I guess the argument, I have to give credit that Camden has done reasonably well. And when we've had them on, when Luke Capelli, who's the chief commissioner out there in Camden County, said, we don't want Philadelphia coming over here and messing it up. Imagine that, being dissed by Camden. That was during the Jim Kenney days.
Yeah.
So are they better off, the thought is, to have Camden County, which is resourced, and I have to say has done a good job in Camden, as their police department?
So Woodland, Woodland, it's nestled right off of Route 30, kind of between, as you said, Collingswood, Audubon, and Camden. And I guess the policing's gotten so bad, and I guess we could discuss the reasons why policing's gotten so bad or recruitment's gotten so bad that allegedly no records were being kept, crimes weren't being investigated, none of the officers had ongoing training at the academy. At times, there's only one officer on duty for the entire town. So recruitment got so hard, so impossible that they had to the county had to come in and take over the town.
How is Camden County recruiting people then? Maybe we should have them back on again and ask that, because apparently they're doing well.
Well, I'm actually working on Commissioner Director Louis Capelli right now. Lou Capelli is a liaison to the Camden County Police Department. Maybe he could tell you where how they're able to recruit when Woodland's unable to.
Yeah, when we had the police commissioner on, I liked him a lot. I thought he was very good. And I think they put a lot of resources into Camden. Now, Camden is still not a place where I want to be, but it's much better, I have to say, than, say, 5 to 8 years ago.
So Gabe Rodriguez, the chief for the Camden County Police, he's done a lot of the community policing types and has done somewhat of a soft reform of what it takes to be a police officer, but it seems police respect what he's done and want to flock towards that type of reform, not the hyper-progressive type that you see pushed by someone like Larry Krasner. And he mentioned this story saying, quote, the records are in shambles. There's been a lack of leadership here. There's been a lack of training for the Woodland Department. So, I mean, there's one part that it's nice for citizens to be safe and have policing done correctly. At this other part, though, it's, kind of control,
Yeah, and with Camden County, the one I'm thinking of, Dan, when they have the state police do it, that's always bad because they're not there really. But Camden County taking it over, it's a pocket of Camden there. So it's just kind of more of an extension of Camden, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so here are the phone lines. 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is push pound 1210. We're coming to you next with Dom and Dan on Talk Radio 1210.
Don't wait for me. Talk Radio 1210's Huge Politics and Pints with Donald Trump Jr. is moving to Thursday, September 12th. Join Dom Giordano as he talks to Donald Trump Jr. about all things Trump. Just 2 days after the planned presidential debate. The new date, Thursday, September 12th at Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood. Your tickets include a copy of Letters to Trump by former President Trump. A cash bar will be available. Get your tickets now at 1210WPHT. WPHT.com. That's 1210WPHT.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
What happens when Washington liberals spend trillions of dollars? Just look around. Prices are way up. They pushed a bunch of reckless spending, and Senator Bob Casey voted for it. Now we're paying higher gas prices, higher grocery prices, and higher utility bills. Casey helped create this mess by voting with President Biden 98% of the time, including voting for trillions in wasteful spending. Instead of listening to the warnings, Senator Casey sided with the liberals, causing this inflation disaster. Casey voted to let illegals take your tax dollars. He voted to let illegals collect $500 million in COVID relief checks. It's more for illegals and less for us. Come on, Senator Casey. That's just not right. Call Senator Casey at 202-224-6324. Tell him to put Pennsylvania families first and fix his inflation disaster. Support S575, the Fight Inflation Through Balanced Budgets Act. Paid for by One Nation, onenationamerica.org.
Two legends, one can. Jack and Coke, the #1 cocktail in the world, is now available in a can. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey mixed with Coca-Cola, or Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, are available in a can. Is there any better time than summer grilling season for a cold Jack and Coke? Jack and Coke in a can. Born for the backyard. Available at your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirits store. Go to finewineandgoodspirits.com. Please drink responsibly. Whiskey specialty, 7% ABV. Jack Daniel Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniel's and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniel's Properties Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Turnersville Jeep wants you to save big. Save big this month with financing as low as 0% for up to 84 months. Come to TurnersvilleJeep.com and get an incredible 0% APR for up to 84 months on select models. Or make no payments for 90 days. TurnersvilleJeep.com has over 450 vehicles available for immediate delivery. The ride you want is what we've got. So drive a little and save a lot. TurnersvilleJeep.com. TurnersvilleJeep.com. Your premier tri-state Jeep, Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, and Wagoneer dealer.
Are you raising the child of a loved one? You're not alone. Like many others, you've stepped up to raise the child of a friend or family member, allowing them to live, grow, and thrive among people they know. While fulfilling, it can also be challenging. But there is support. PA Kin Connector helps kinship caregivers just like you by providing connections to resources, services, training, and support groups. Don't navigate the journey alone.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
This is Jordan Lundy.
And this is Len Lundy. Lundy Law has won billions for our clients.
But more importantly, we've won the trust and confidence of thousands of people injured in motor vehicle crashes, slip and fall accidents, and work-related injuries.
My son and I hope we never meet you because of an accident. But if we do, we're here for you.
Remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com for a free consultation.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dom Giordano show. With all that's going on in the world, Dan really stung me today, and he's going to do some special stuff in Dan Time with Dom. But
I'm sorry to break the news to you, Dom.
The retirement of Nick Foles. And I've never been around. You know, I have to do maybe the top 10 tomorrow, Dan, of people due to this job, and thanks to listeners, that's what gives us this job, that I've been up close and personal with. The good, the bad, and the ugly, and there is some ugly here, of people that are national figures. I guess the biggest definitely would be President Trump standing there with that picture in the Resolute desk and looking down at Trump's head, seeing the Roman viaducts. That's got to be the biggest. You can't top that.
Were you caught speechless when you saw his hair in person?
Oh, God.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It was a good hair day. He didn't have that point coming all the way out.
Oh, okay.
It was more puffy. I always like the puffy look.
Yeah, because the point, even he says it looks like his hair is a comb over at that.
Oh, but when you're standing looking down on the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Impressive?
It's impressive how he gets that together. But I got to say, the nicest, without a doubt, every bit of it, at an unbelievable point in his life. He was too nice. We had to restrain him from going and signing autographs, and a mob of 1,400 people was Nick Foles. And behind the scenes, my only regret is I didn't play him in basketball and beat him right there. The other observation I'll tell you, that when you're up close with these guys, Dan, who, even at your height, these pro football players. Nick Foles sitting there, first of all, the size of his hand looked like he could engulf my head with it and throw it. He looked thin to me. I wouldn't say skinny, but thin. And if you look on the player chart, lean, they had him at like 250, I think, at that point. Yeah. Now, he is about 6'5.5", 6'6". But still, he looked almost very thin.
Yeah.
It's frightening. And he's a quarterback and not a physical quarterback.
His hand span is 10.63 inches.
Wow. What do you think ours is?
One of the biggest in history.
Is it?
Yeah.
If I'm looking
at your hand?
Yeah, if I'm looking at a quarterback, boy, that looks like about 8 inches. I don't know.
Big hands mean, Dom.
Yeah, exactly.
Big gloves.
Yeah. So if that's true about him, Dan, you can see how you get a better grip on the ball. That's how you throw the ball.
Seventh biggest hands in the history of football.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just behind the scenes with producers, he signed 1,500 books, Dan. He had been up since 4:30 in the morning before he went on with the crowd. And I've never seen more people of all stripes gaga than they were with Nick Foles. I mean, it was our biggest event
He really
ever.
seems like the guy that is like an all-shucks individual that refuses to curse. Like, he'll never say the F word. He'll just say freak instead.
Oh, yeah, he was like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just nice to everybody, even some of these producers just sitting there talking. You know, some of these people,
awesome.
You can't go near them.
What a guy.
One of the worst, Dan, was Rudy Giuliani.
Oh,
Got to
yeah?
say it. Oh, yeah. This was I don't forget, Dan, 20-year feud. This was the Kerry campaign, Bush Kerry, right? They're bringing Rudy, Pennsylvania swing state, to the Italian market, 9th Street, right where the Rizzo mural is. So I'm down the shore. I come all the way up from that, right, and back to do like a 15-minute thing. I get to introduce him, the whole thing. So I'm just trying to chat him up a little bit. Not happening, Dan. Bad. Not good. You don't forget stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Was he leaking any black fluid from his hair?
No, he wasn't at that point. He was shaved. He was still doing whatever he was doing. Not a good moment with Rudy. And a lot of these people are very nice, usually.
Yeah.
And then there are, but Nick Foles has to be near the very, very top. It was a magical moment. And it's injuries. The guy's been injured incredible amount of time. I mean, one injury after another, and some of them pretty severe. It's got to be, you don't want to go through it anymore, and I guess you're afraid after you're done, you're not going to be able to have any kind of healthy lifestyle, so why continue to do it?
So book your tickets, Dom, September 16th. Well, it's the day before the big day. Atlanta Falcons, they're going to be retiring Nick Foles officially as a Philadelphia Eagle.
Oh, they're going to do it at the Falcons game. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. People are going to go nuts for this.
Which is cool because the guy has a lot of history playing against the Falcons.
Yeah.
The playoff runs.
And I even feel, I know he's widely criticized. I feel bad for Carson Wentz in the sense that Wentz played great that year. And then the next year, Foles comes back in again and almost takes him to the Super Bowl again. How do you deal with that? I got to say, I'm a team player. But if it's me, I'm resentful.
Well,
wouldn't you be?
The thing is, I don't think the guy ever really did deal with it. I mean,
yeah.
I think his injury was indeed horrible, the ACL and all that. But when he came off, I think there was definitely some, mental issues there that were probably built up because of the situation with Nick Foles that he never truly recovered from.
What I'm saying is,
over and over again, he came into the same situation where he had quarterback battle after quarterback battle, and his career was completely altered after it.
Yeah. How do you deal with that? Yeah. I mean, the guy is otherworldly, and Philadelphia loved him. Not just because of the Super Bowl, it's the manner in which they've done it and all that. One thing, people don't get it, though, what Philadelphia loves and what they don't. I get exactly why they love Nick Foles, though. I mean, it's still storybook. Let's go to Trent in Yardley. Trent's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Trent, good afternoon. Yo, Trent. I'll put Trent on hold. I can hear the car there. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Let's go to Charlie in Westchester. Hey, Charlie, afternoon.
Yeah, I got your thing that kind of had a fad and went away.
Okay.
I'm giving my age away a little bit. Leisure Suit.
Yeah, it's a trend I'd like to bring back. Maybe to the Don Trump Jr. event, I'll wear that rust-colored leisure suit I still have at home.
You know, Earl did this song in a leisure suit, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
he brought it
did.
out to Mulligan's and trying to bring it back here on the Don Giordano program. Not going to work, though.
What's wrong with the leisure suit?
Does the leisure suit still fit you?
Well, I think I could get into it.
You look like Elvis.
Thank you, but it's rust-colored, too. It's rust-colored, yeah.
We should bring it back out, Dom.
You have to have the chest hair.
How about for Don Jr., we not only do the beard, gold chain, but we also do a leisure suit.
Oh, goodness.
Could you imagine the pictures?
The embarrassment. Oh, yeah, around the country. Hosting Don Trump Jr., this wacko conservative host. I'm working up my lines to get him going about walls that night. I got it. All right. We'll find out about J.D. Vance, too. Remember, tickets at 1210WPHT.com. That's where you go. All right, we're going to talk with this, I believe he's a Navy SEAL, at least a Navy he was in the Navy at a high level.
Yeah, he's a special operations officer, and then he's a captain in the Navy, yeah.
Captain in the Navy. Running in Virginia. We saw him yesterday because of this ongoing walls thing. Hung Cao is his name. And he's going to lay out, when he started to run for office, some of the things the military wanted to clarify with him, Dan, and official type of stuff. Okay, I think this is a very sensitive area. How is it this Walls guy got away with it all these years? He's folksy. That's how he got away with it. And if you have a Nick Foles comment, tomorrow, obviously, we will be using Nick Foles as the side question. So if you want to hit me on Twitter at DomShow1210, what's a good angle on Nick Foles that would give us a catapult tomorrow for the side question? Got to do honor that way, though. Just one of a kind. And Tom Brady, Dan, I lost complete respect right there on the spot, refusing to shake his hand, and apparently still to this point. How's that possible? Nick Foles.
I thought you were a big Brady fan.
Well, I like the way he played, yes.
Yeah.
And I would have trouble shaking hands after losing, at the Little League level, I get.
Yeah.
But when you're an adult, when you're a pro in that situation, and it's a guy like Nick Foles, I mean, how in the world would you not commend Nick Foles in that? Just makes no sense. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board, all your calls straight ahead. Captain Chucky's, though. When you're enjoying your summer, a reminder that this Friday coming up, football returns. That's tomorrow night. That's right.
Yes.
It's preseason and a great season to call your nearest Captain Chucky's. Get all the new wild shrimp scampi ravioli. Chucky's teaming up with Vera Pasta, offering lobster, crab, and now wild shrimp ravioli. Remember, order the brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake, the Bang Bang Crab Cake, one of a kind. As much as I love it, I have my own crab cake, the non-breaded one. So Ro jumps in, though. She loves the delicious, creamy 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick for those who like to spice it up with some heat. It's also the perfect time with football to check out all those other accoutrements, the salads, the stuffed mushrooms, the desserts, the soups, appetizers. They all go great with football or anything else. Their Gulf shrimp at Captain Chucky's a huge hit. It's always wild caught, never farm raised. And my favorite, those delicious Don rolls. So visit Captain Chucky's today. There's a location near you. Go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com, WeLoveCrabCakes.com. By the way, headed to the shore, Captain Chucky's at the shore.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free.
And earned a Bronze Star for his service in the first Gulf War. Dave went on to an outstanding career in business, and now he's fighting for the people of this Commonwealth, and he loves this Commonwealth.
Conservative Dave McCormick.
We need new leadership. We need a new president in the White House that's going to get our country back on track. We need a new majority in the Senate that's going to be able to take our country in the right direction.
Dave will vote to secure your borders, stand up to China, unleash incredible amounts of Pennsylvania energy, and he wants to stop bite inflation. David McCormick, you have my total support and my total endorsement, and you got to win. Dave McCormick.
I'm Dave McCormick, and I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Dave McCormick. www.davemccormickpa.com.
Tune in to Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Phil Cannella and Joanne Small. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
A stalled frontal boundary and the remnants of Debbie will keep the forecast unsettled through the rest of the work week. Clouds today with a few showers around, high 78. Tonight, humid with some showers with a low 72. And a very humid day on Friday with some heavy showers, especially in the afternoon, high 84.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
That's right. We're going naval here on the Dom Giordano Show. One update on old Tampon Tim, though. MSNBC says that the Harris-Walz campaign response to allegations of stolen valor, they're not specifically saying whether or not he misrepresented his time. Why? Why not say... No, he didn't misrepresent anything here over this course of time.
I do that queued up. You want it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
1 second.
Yumichi Alcindor, I believe it is.
Yeah, here you go.
Freedom there. And he talked about the fact that he sort of was someone who was a leader in the military.
Sorry, first off, she's recapping the statement that they released, and then she's going to give more details.
But they are not specifically saying whether or not he misrepresented his time. They're not really engaging specifically on the idea of whether or not, as the Trump campaign is saying, that he lied about this, but they are saying, here's what he did say. So it's interesting to see the campaign respond, the Harris campaign respond in this way. They've been fast about responding. They've been very clear and engaging when it comes to reporters on this, though we still have a question of whether or not he misspoke in that specific moment, or whether or not this was sort of something that he did that was a falsehood. But there is this response that they're giving now, which is sort of leaning in on his biography, and of course talking about the fact that he also has a lot of other ways that he served this country, thinking about the fact that he served in Congress, that he was a teacher, all those other things that made him the pick that Vice President Harris wanted to go with, Andrew.
Wait a minute. Why is a teacher serving the country? I was a teacher, Dana. You don't get to put that up there. Give me the Congressional Medal of Honor. I was a teacher. I was a coach. You're serving the... See what they're doing? It's the non-answer, and you continue to talk. This is what the Biden, the French woman, does. She'll read a list of things that we stipulate. Stop the reading. Here's the question. And she goes on reading something else. Well, he was a teacher. All right, joining us is retired naval captain, Republican nominee, running against Senator Tim Kaine. Remember him? Hello, Hillary, in Virginia.
That's right, Tim.
Yes. What a background. Retired Navy Captain Hung Cao came to the United States as a refugee from Vietnam in 1975. He moved to Virginia, proud member of the inaugural graduating class of Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, which used to be #1 in the country, but has fallen on hard times because of what they've watered down. Special Operations Officer, served Special Ops in Iraq, Afghanistan, Somalia.
Right, Tim?
And one thing he put up on Twitter that caught our attention, Dan, because I'm a Trump supporter and running against a liberal career politician, a so-called Pentagon correspondent asked me to provide documented evidence of every time I had been outside the wire. on a deployment, and every time I received
wow,
incoming enemy fire. What are you at? Come on over here, buddy. I'll show you where I was shot over
Yeah.
here. Is that what you need?
Quite a double standard here.
Yeah, I don't know if Dom Giordano was hit by a golf ball there, Dan, and there's the evidence. All right, let's go to retired Navy Captain Hung Cao and candidate against Tim Kaine in Virginia. Captain, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Dom, thank you so much for the intro song. It's great. Yeah, it's preposterous. I mean, the left-wing media is so hypocritical, right? It's because I said Tim Kaine and I received the same government paycheck signed by the American people for 30 years, except he has millions of dollars to show for it, and I have scars. So, of course, he's crying to the media saying, I don't know why he doesn't respect my service. So, of course, I came back and said, please, Tim, please tell me you're not comparing your 30 years in an air-conditioned office with me getting shot at and blown up in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. So, of course, he runs to the media, and they did this hit piece on me saying, well, if you got blown up, then where's your Purple Heart? So I'm like, okay, so you're saying that the millions of 100% disabled veterans like myself who don't have a Purple Heart are faking it. I mean, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. And so, so now these guys wanted to fact check me, saying, give me every time you've been outside the wire, which, good luck. Here's a phone book. Like this how many times I've been outside the wire. And it's just ridiculous. But then they won't fact check this guy who's been running on live for 20 years. And now they're trying to change it around, right? They're trying to say, well, he was deployed to Italy in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Like, hold on. Stop the presses here. Okay? I was actually stationed in Italy and deployed to Pakistan. So please tell me again what you did, that you consider combat. So I don't know. It's just insane.
It is. And again, if the media were just going to accept your service record and accept his and say America really doesn't care about this, it's just you military guys that care, but they don't. They're going to fact check you because I think they know deep down that enough Americans still really care about this, and someone who has done what you've done is somebody that gets our attention. In other words, has a leg up when they're running for office, as they should. It doesn't mean we're going to vote for you ultimately, but it means we think military service like that, sacrifice, we want that in public life.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's just, that's the thing. Like, I'm running against Tim Kaine, and it's a tale of two Tims, right? Both guys from Minnesota. Both guys destroyed their states as governor, and both were playing a harmonica. Look, I'm sorry, you're not going to catch me blowing anything, but he's running around playing a harmonica and saying that hey, remember what I did? Remember what I did? But the thing is, nobody knows who you are.
Well, wait a minute now. In between, I got to ask you, between all that time outside the wire, inside the wire, come on now, admit it. You were a stand-up comedian there in Somalia and Iraq and all, weren't you? Come on. You were entertaining the troops aboard the ship.
Exactly. No, we did hard things. We faced hardships out over there, and we did it willingly. Because, look, I know what it's like to wake up without a flag to stand under or a country to call my own, and I'll be damned if that happens to me, you, our kids, or our grandchildren. I'm not going to do it. And they're turning this country into a socialist left-wing thing. I mean, Tim Walz wants to turn Minnesota into a sanctuary state for kids who want to have gender-affirming care, and not tell their parents. He had a snitch line for people to rat on their neighbors during COVID. I mean, this is exactly the communist state that I escaped from. Do you think I'm going to let that happen in this country? I bled for this country. You won't catch me dead, doing any kind of communist thing over here.
No, without a doubt. I mean, coming from Vietnam, too. I like what you said, too, in one tweet. All I know is when I was deployed in Iraq, I never saw Tim Walz there. In the Navy, we used to talk about something called pulling a deployment muscle. It seems to me Tim Walz may have suffered just that.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Like this. People like it's people like that just like it's just like, look, man, if you're not going to deploy, then just say, hey, I'm not going to deploy. I don't want. I'm scared or whatever. But you sign up for this stuff. I've been to war many times. It's not what I wanted. Just like I don't want to run for office, But if I don't, these lunatics are going to step in and they're going to destroy our republic. I served my time in this country, but right now we have to protect the United States of America and defend this Constitution and not let it turn into what they want it to be.
So tomorrow you're going to be holding a rally with Glenn Youngkin in Bristol, Virginia. We're fans of Youngkin. I liked him a lot as a potential VP choice. And if Youngkin's on board working with you on the campaign, that's got to help in Virginia.
Absolutely. He just signed this executive order that basically pulls off anybody who is non-citizen from registering to vote. Imagine that. I mean, I've been to 40 countries in the world in my lifetime. I've lived in them or worked in them. Are you saying I get to vote in 40 different countries? No. I get to vote in the United States of America because I'm an American citizen. So, and that's the only people that should be able to vote in America. Look, my family and I waited 7 years for our citizenship. We waited patiently in line, and my dad was so proud of his American citizenship that the last thing that hung over his bed when he passed away 2 years ago was his naturalization certificate. We should be proud to be Americans.
Exactly.
And I'm sick and tired of tired of this stuff.
So, Captain, where do we go? People want to know more because we reach all kinds of people. Your candidacy, your shot here at Tim Kaine. Where do we go?
Well, first of all, you should support Dave McCormick. I mean, look at all the veterans that President Trump is bringing in, right? Sam Brown, myself, Tim Sheehy, J.D. Vance. But, if you want to support me also, then go to hungforva.com. That's HUNGFORVA.com. You'll see what we're about. But, look, I'm not done fighting for us because I know what it's like, I said, to live in a communist country, and I'm not going to let that happen to my children.
Absolutely. Honored to have you on the show, Captain. Thank you, and we'll continue to talk with you. And the entertainment factor, too, is huge. I want you to know that. We always like that in a candidate.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Oh, my God. The harmonica joke. Tim Kaine playing the harmonica.
I had to ride a dumb button for Barron's yesterday. Didn't know whether to press it for that.
Oh, man.
I let it go.
All I know is that...
the guys in WIP like to say, pause.
Yeah, I thought that Mike Pence even looked more awake than Tim Kaine did. I don't know what Hillary was thinking. I think he allegedly was a Catholic. They were going with that.
Yeah, here's that clip that we used to
love. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm the only candidate which has a policy about how to bring economic opportunity using clean, renewable energy as the key into coal country. Because we're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business. Right, Tim?
Right, Tim. Does that? Dan, I have to admit, though, and listeners sometimes don't like, I don't know about you, can answer honestly. Hillary doesn't get me worked up. I realize lock her up and all was a lot of fun and all. This guy, though, this blowhard folksy guy, he does get me visceral. He works me up, this guy. How in the world did this blowhard? Picture him against Josh Shapiro here, too, as a talent, as a ruthless political operator, Dan. Is this guy withstanding Josh Shapiro? And yet they still pick this guy, not Shapiro.
I think I have an explanation for that. Yeah. I think Hillary, because she was in the public eye for so long, everyone had a baseline of what to expect from her and how to, discuss her. This guy, they're just trying to drop all this BS on us as him being relatable out of nowhere with no evidence to support it. So, I mean, it gets me riled up, too, because this is just coming out of nowhere. This guy that hardly anybody knew of, a week ago, all of a sudden this entire half of the country allegedly is gung-ho over. It's fascinating.
I'd love to have a progressive, self-described progressive call in, though, to our point and say, stop it, you guys. We're not humorless. We're not whatever. All right, this guy's an example. He's a socialist, and he's funny. Yeah, we'll see. 855-839-1210. Big Dan Time with Dom coming up. 855-839-1210. Hey, for years, I've told you about my friend, dentist, and board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz and the Bentz Dental Group. He's known for helping you overcome your fear and anxiety. State-of-the-art facility, his skill, you'll recognize it right away. And the backup, the art of the 3D printer and the technology that he has, just the simplest things when they take an X-ray, the little device they put into your mouth, doesn't do what the old devices did, get this out of it. And it's not like that. So when I had a permanent tooth replaced, when I went there, put it in, they said, it'll take 5-10 minutes. And that's all it was. Fit perfectly the first time, I'm out of there. So whatever you're looking for in a dentist, you want to get that first appointment, go to my dentist, my guy, Dr. Bentz, the Bentz Dental Group, BENTZ dentalgroup.com, or call them for that appointment today, 610-272-6949. Visit thebentzdentalgroup.com. Tell them Dom sent you, 610-272-6949.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I believe he used to go as the Greater Chris on Twitter. He's now calling himself the Bachelor Chris.
Bachelor Chris, yeah.
He says crowd size means nothing. Biden had 6 people in a circle at rallies. Trump drew tens of thousands. Biden drew hundreds. Candidates and debates mean nothing. And that's why I'm saying this is why you cannot leave any stone unturned. Yep. I know people aren't going to do it. I'm just wasting my oxygen here. This is why you cannot wait until November 5th to vote. If you don't take advantage of September 16th in that 6-week window, don't tweet me. That's it. Don't tweet me. I don't want to hear from you.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are offering the C40 lease for 36 months for under $500 to qualified buyers. This is a really fun Volvo to drive. We also have a huge selection of certified Volvos. And what about $15,000 off when leasing a 2024 XC90 hybrid? This is an incredibly fabulous Volvo. It's the Volvo I drive. Visit us here at Cherry Hill Volvo for the attention and respect you deserve.
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to GetCash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
GetCash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to getcash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to getcash.com. That's getcash.com. Getcash.com.
Tomorrow's 9:40 Phillies Diamondbacks game can be heard on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. The Phillies are on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT tomorrow.
Yo, Roy is Ford. What? We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time.
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
With Dom.
That's right. It's that time in the afternoon. Producer Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan Time with Weird, where we occasionally veer into the conspiratorial world of things, Dom, and some news breaking around a person who kind of veered off the deep end. TMZ covering it all. Allegations made by Milo Yiannopoulos, the chief of staff for none other than Kanye West, Dom, that a lot of Kanye West's issues are based in allegations that Milo has made to the California Dental Board that his dentist was supplying him with a a constant flow of nitrous, or whatever, I don't know what it's called.
Who was getting it, Milo?
Nitrous oxide. No, Kanye.
Kanye, okay.
And Kanye, in meetings, he would appear in inhaler masks consistently with in like business meetings. His staffers would say he'd become incomprehensible, contradictory, mood unpredictable. Connolly, the dentist out there, he's firing back, saying that he's not only factually incorrect, but also intentionally misleading, saying that Milo's just doing this for attention, Dom. But, this might explain why Kanye's gone and veered into the world of anti-Semitism and such, because he's been addicted to this nitrous oxide. But I bring it up conspiratorial because they're wondering, is this guy using this for some kind of form of control? Is this being done to other rappers that are using the same dentist? Is there something with MK Ultra here? The Kardashians, it all goes into it. So maybe we'll follow along on this story here on the Dom Show, huh?
Brought to you by Dr. Bentz. No, I don't think so.
Probably the first and last time you'll be hearing about this, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Dom, some sad news down from Fort Worth, Texas. 2024 CrossFit Games kicked off today, and the run and swim event, the first event of the series, someone passed away. So there'll be news developing out of that. A person drowned in Marine Creek Lake, Fort Worth, Texas, at the CrossFit Games 2024. Just sad news there. But also in the world of sports, Tom, also sad news. Let's hear from none other than Super Bowl champion Nick Foles.
It's crazy to be in this moment, looking at this camera, officially announcing my retirement from the NFL. From the first day I was born, my dad put a football in my hand. He must have known something, because that became a dream of mine since I've been a kid, to play in the NFL, and I will be forever grateful for that. It's been such a special privilege to play for Philadelphia, St. Louis, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Chicago, and Indianapolis. To the fans of the NFL around the world, thank you for making the game so special. Y'all are the ones that bring the energy in the stadiums. Thank you. Specifically, thank you to the Philadelphia Eagles fans. Thank you for all your support from 2012 when I was drafted to 2017 when I came back. You truly made playing in Philadelphia the most special experience in my football career. To all the coaches I had in my career, thank you for everything. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for the teaching. Thank you for the uplifting. Thank you for being there for me throughout my entire career. To my teammates, to that bond we have in the locker room, going to work every day, being on the practice field, being in the weight room, being in the steam room, being in the sauna, having those conversations, that bond that lasts forever. I want to specifically thank Athletes First, Justin Schulman, my agent, and Austin Lyman, my marketing agent. I'm truly grateful for everything. I want to give a special thanks to my wife, Tori. You're the rock of the household. Thank you for guiding our family through the transitions, the conversations we've had before games, week of games. I want to give a special thank you for that. I want to thank my mom and dad. Y'all instilled in me a work ethic that took me to the NFL. The character traits y'all have, the hard work y'all have. Thank you for being that example for me. I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to live a childhood dream. I've grown so much in my faith in this time. As I step away from this game, I want to cheer on the next generation of NFL players. Go out there each and every day and give it everything you have. As this chapter closes, another one opens. I'm truly grateful for my time in the NFL. I get to be a husband and a father. I have 3 kids at home that I get to be around all the time. I get to coach their sports, I get to be at their sports, and I also get to help them with homework, get to help them through tantrums, get to be there each and every day. So I'm truly excited for it. This isn't the end. I know I'll see you soon. Thank y'all.
Be honored at the home opener against the Falcons, Dom. What a great message, huh?
Yeah, and an example, why is it so difficult for athletes to get it? Now, he's extraordinary, personal experience with him, etc. That people, that's all they want, particularly here in Philadelphia. Why is that? Why is it so? Look, I know there are pressures in Philadelphia. I don't think Nick Foles was booed here, though. I can't imagine. If it's all-out effort and you have some degree of success, we had Bob Kelly on. 40 years after the fact, 50 it might be, I don't know. He can't pay for a drink. People jump in there and do it. I mean, it's the greatest place in the world to play. I don't care what any athlete or anybody says, like Scott Rowland, go play in the Midwest. They booed me.
I mean, if Nick doesn't live out here already, he's got to move out here and go out to eat every night, because somebody sees him in a restaurant there covering that meal, man, he is going to be a legend forever.
How's that going, man, having another Nick Foles?
You're against retiring the number, though, huh?
Yeah, I'm against retiring the number.
Yeah.
I don't think he was that good.
He is the most consequential quarterback in the history of Eagles.
True,
huh?
true. But it was lightning in a bottle as much as it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. And I know why Philadelphia celebrates him. It's because of the person, too. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. You heard the retired Navy captain. The scrutiny he faces. How about walls? And you also heard the breaking news, those that think, well, why are we still talking about this? Why is the Harris campaign not clarifying or denying these allegations against him and saying they're desperate? That's all that they're doing. What they're saying is, why are we scrutinizing 24 years in the National Guard? It's a good question. We'll answer it. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in with Dom and Dan on Talk Radio 1210.
The good and bad with home improvement projects. The good, you save a buck or two. The bad.
Kevin, there's no hot water.
So you move on to the car.
Kevin, what's with the car?
Good news, you can recover from these.
Kevin!
Well, most all of them. But when it comes to your retirement, a mistake can be devastating.
Call Joe Yakovich at JML Financial Group. He's been helping folks prepare for retirement for over 30 years. That's why he's able to correct your do-it-yourself problems before they're problems.
Get your complimentary assessment of where you are now and look at some of the retirement boxes you haven't even thought of.
Kevin!
You can't YouTube your retirement. Call Joe Yakovich at 856-925-6674 or visit jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company.
The forecast for hot summer weather should come as no surprise. And the forecast for high energy costs shouldn't either. PJ Fitzpatrick has a great plan to cool your electric bill. Replace your leaky old windows with energy efficient and budget-friendly insulated windows. The PJ Fitzpatrick team, voted best of Philly, has replaced hundreds of thousands of windows. And they've earned thousands of 5-star reviews. Call today and save thousands on your windows and electric bill. Visit trustpj.com today for a free window consultation.
Look at you. Your life is under control. Errands? Done. Groceries? Got 'em. It's a good time to give yourself a reward. You know the one. Your favorite tasty cake treat. Is it the delicious crimpet or the mouthwatering candy cake? No matter where you are, choose what feels right and enjoy. You've earned it. And you know you deserve it. Tasty cake, accept no substitutes.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is the Dom Giordano Show. President Trump holding a news conference. We'll dip in and out of that. No exception, even with Trump here. These things are always late. Biden set world records, though, when it comes to it. And why do this now? Well, upside, it underlines to anybody paying attention to this that Kamala Harris is refusing to do this. And if I were advising her, I know there's downside in this, ultimately, at some level, shape, or form, but come on, the media is not going to press her to the ends of the earth on this, and she can't do it. She literally would be unable to get through this because the evidence we've seen in limited times, not just Lester Holt, she can't handle it. So then why do it? Well, you got to do it if you're going to be president. I agree with that. But that doesn't mean it's the smart thing to do. So Trump is underlining this today. And, despite moments in that black journalist conference where he was trying to deal with the questions and also go after Kamala Harris, Trump is very good at these things because he's doing pretty much what he does with a hostile or an audience or a media outlet that's on his side. So it's going to be pretty interesting to hear the news conference questions today. What's the number one thing they're going to be trying to go after Trump on? And the number one thing they're going to be trying to go after him on that I don't think is going to be easy for them to have stick is your campaign is failing. You're flailing around. Kamala Harris is hot. The American people are saying, sir, is going to be the question. We don't want to go back. We want to go forward. Their campaign is about freedom across the board. You talk about freedom, but you want to intervene in lives. Transgender, abortion, the whole nonsense that we hear. I think that's where they'll go. There's nothing else at this point. They'll swerve into Trump's alleged attacks along race and gender on Vice President Harris. You might see some of that. But we'll dip in as that happens. All right, one more thing on Walz and what he governed in Minnesota. By the way, we mentioned, but new people come in. We played you a cut. The Harris campaign, all that they put out is a boilerplate of 24 years in the National Guard. In other words, they're not dismissing, they're not addressing these allegations that we have footage of, we have sound on. We had Tom Barron's on yesterday, one of his colleagues there, who laid out what Walz did and continues to do, apparently, around his military service. And you heard the Navy captain running against Tim Kaine that we had on. When he threw his hat into the ring, they immediately want to know, why don't you have a Purple Heart? Things of this nature. So even though the media has been not all out, and they probably will not go all out on the service record of Walz, there's enough social media, Fox News, talk radio, people that are breaking things loose, instances that we played you, where he has clearly gone outside the boundaries of what his service was, and there's no getting around that he would not deploy to Iraq. And he has to answer for that. Just saying 24 years in the National Guard, isn't that enough for you? Is not good enough. Will this be significant? That's the question. And up on Twitter, a lot of people telling me, no, it won't in the end with Walz. I think it will diminish him. Hard to say. Would they have to move away from him? The scrutiny level now is turned up. And when you do something like this, usually it's not a one-off. In other words, it becomes a habit. As a politician speaking to a lot of people, you can call it loose language, et cetera, but it's absolutely there. Now, just a note, we're going to go to Money Melody, Dom's Money Melody, a bit early to get ready for that.
do it while we're waiting on Trump.
Yeah, and when Trump decides to show up. One other Walls tidbit, though. Of course, as governor, he supports free college for illegal immigrants. Now, it's bad enough, all that we've seen back and forth here with this guy and illegal immigrants, transgender, etc. But the American people, come on, free college for illegal immigrants. That's not going to fly if it's exposed. The only thing they'll say, well, he's only number 2 spot on the ticket. He's not at the top. Well, she does too. She just doesn't say it, as this guy Granley has been doing it for the last umpteen number of years. All right, Dan, it is time for...
Oh, we're going now. Let me get that right.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure.
Money Melody.
All right, we are playing today for a 4-pack of tickets to see the Reading Phillies versus the Erie Seawolves at First Energy Stadium in Reading, Pennsylvania on Sunday, September 8th. For tickets, visit ReadingPhillies.com. What do you have, Dan?
Yeah, Dom, today we're celebrating a birthday, 63 years old. This person, we often talk about this band as, I've often considered them overrated, but as my time's gone on with the Dom Show, every time I say that, a bunch of listeners get upset. So I've actually looked into the band, and I've really started to enjoy them. But today, a guy by the name of Dave Evans is celebrating his birthday, a member of this band. And if you're a fan of the band, you know exactly who that is because he's not usually called that name. So, Dom, we're going to play a cover by a band. We want to know who the cover band is today that's singing the song that I've gained respect for over the years. Take a listen. Because I want to get quick to Trump, too, I'm going to say a big clue, Dom, very prominent in Vegas right around this time.
You know, and I will say I defer to you on musicality. You should defer to me on sports and movies and in general. No kidding. But I don't defer to you on this. I don't see how you've had a new... I'm not getting it, but that's another conversation.
The corporate stuff of theirs, especially the stuff that they did with a particular corporation, is very corporate-style rock, and that's kind of what turned me off to them. But then looking at their older stuff, some of their more famous albums, I've really started to like them.
All right, hit us with that. You're the winner. We'll take you to the Trump news conference. He's just doing a little preamble here, and then we'll get some of the questions in the back and forth. Watch them. Flailing Campaign is the theme today. 855-839-1210.
So let us not talk falsely now, because the hour is getting late.
Hey everyone, it's Donald Trump Jr. Join me and Dom Giordano Thursday, September 12th at the Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood, New Jersey for the next Politics and Pints with WPHT. We will talk all things Trump, the 2024 election, and my father's book, Letters to Trump. South Jersey and PA suburbs are hugely important to electing Donald Trump president. Just head to 1210WPHT.com for tickets right now. Hope to see you there.
Hi, it's Rich Zioli. I'm joined here today by my friend, the co-president and CEO of Cooper University Healthcare, the one and only Dr. Anthony Mazzarelli. Dr. Maz and I are here to tell you about our buddy, Dr. Mike Venaria. Not only is he my dentist, he's my family's dentist as well. And not sure if you knew this, he's Dr. Maz's dentist too.
That's right, Rich. Dr. Mike Venaria is and has been my dentist also. And you know, doctors choosing doctors, that can be quite a selective process. And not only do I go to him, but for years, my sister and my niece and my nephew, the whole family goes.
Well, it's no secret. We're all delighted by the care that Dr. Mike Venaria and his award-winning team provide, and you need to check him out.
Whether you're looking for pediatric, general, cosmetic, implant dentistry, you don't need to look any further. Dr. Venaria's office does everything. Dr. Venaria's office also exceeds all CDC guidelines and has always maintained the strictest infection control, like their centralized UV sterilization of airflow, which is incredibly important to me.
Locations are right over the bridge in Cinnaminson and Woodbury. Your perfect smile's waiting. Call 856-786-2020 or visit venariadental.com.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pennsylvania's statewide tobacco-free recovery initiative supports your local radio station and reminds those in substance use disorder recovery that learning tobacco-free coping skills improves the chances of long-term recovery by 25%, and that more than 70% of Pennsylvanians in recovery believe these skills are helpful to both recovery and mental health. To learn more, visit tobaccofreerecoverypa.com or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Sponsored by the Philadelphia Department of Public Health.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, Paoli. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
Okay, let's hear the clue, Dan, and let's see if we can get a winner. All right, let's go to Bettina in West Deptford on Talk Radio 1210. All right, Bettina, who is that?
Why, that, of course, is you two, because the Edge's birthday is today.
There you go, the Edge.
Nicely played. So you must be a fan, Bettina. I'm completely missing it.
Absolutely, probably 40 years of fan.
Wow. Wow.
Congrats.
Let me put you on the congrats. Nice work there. All right.
Yeah, Dave Evans, a.k.a. The Edge, 63 today, Dom. Congratulations,
All right.
Bettina.
I just think their star is not quite what it once was, and the lead guy, everybody in the world wanted his comments on world hunger and everything else.
Bono.
Yeah.
Turned
All
me
right.
off too, but
So-
Joshua Tree's amazing. It really is.
We are staked out on President Trump here. When he starts taking a little bit of the back and forth with the questions, he's called Harris the worst border czar in history. Oh, come on now. She's not a border czar. She wasn't a border czar. How many different ways? Very telling, the
Talking
story.
about her doing an interview right now if you want to dip in.
Oh, okay.
Which city would we put it into? But all things that will be settled very easily. I think it'll be very easy. The other side has to agree to the terms. They may or may not agree. I don't know if they're going to agree. She hasn't done an interview. She can't do an interview. She's barely competent, and she can't do an interview. But I look forward to the debates because I think we have to set the record straight. Why is it that millions of people were allowed to come into our country from prisons, from jails, from mental institutions, insane asylums, even insane asylums? It's a mental institution on steroids. That's what it is. When you see the people that are coming into these are institutions that are being emptied out, not in South America, all over the world, including South America, all over the world. Prisons are being emptied out into our country because we have a president that's the worst president in the history of our country. We have a vice president who is the least admired, least respected, and the worst vice president in the history of our country. The most unpopular vice president, and because of political reasons or because of being politically correct, even though she never received a vote. Don't forget, she was the first one defeated, as I remember it, because I watched it very closely, but she was the first one. She never made it to Iowa, the first state.
All
She
right,
never made it to
so
Iowa.
Trump, Dan, the controller there said, don't say DEI, don't say DEI. And his mind said, politically correct, DEI. The caption below. All right, we'll dip in. Dan's monitoring when we start to get the questions
You just
here.
called her nasty.
Uh-oh.
She was the nastiest
Oh,
to him.
yeah.
She was nasty with calling him a racist and the school bus and all of the different things. She was very nasty to Biden. And shockingly, he appointed her, asked her to serve as vice president. Well, I don't know if he's happy about that decision right now. This was taken away. The presidency was taken away from Joe Biden.
All right, so we're going to bring you when we get to the questions. That'll be something new here to see how this plays out. Now, you would think, out of self-interest, that Trump is golden. for what Rich and I do, talk radio, and for the media in general. It's kind of like on the local level. The best example ever was Frank Rizzo. Great copy. And he was going to talk to people all the time. He might say anything during it. You might differ with him and all that, but you had something to work with.
You are a lush, I can tell by looking at you.
The stuff that he would, I can't say some of it, Dan, and he said it publicly, too, about...
You're a coward. You're a creep.
All right. So Trump goes into hostile situations.
You're a real crumb bum.
You're getting information. You're getting access. That's the number one thing I look for. I mean, on my golden list right here, Dan, we kid about Jim Kenney and Larry Krasner. Of course, that would be death matches, right? Larry Krasner's cleaning his glasses. Stop cleaning your glasses, Larry. I would like...
Take that thing out. Unhook it.
I'd like somebody like Josh Shapiro in studio for an hour. That would be a challenge. That would be the place to go. So you would think this should be a professional slight, that they can't do their job. They can't get anything good because Kamala Harris is smart on this because of her lack of ability to do it. She cannot handle. We're not going to play Lester Holt again, but there have been ample number of even friendly interviews where she starts laughing, cackling inappropriately. They're not laying the glove. They're not trying to do anything to her. In any kind of interview, the one that would be a case in point, similar to not going to the border, is you were the border czar. She's going to say, no, I wasn't. My job was root causes. That's all that I did. And there are ample media coverage that show her portfolio was much bigger than that. She couldn't do it, didn't want to do it, and we land back here with this debate on the number one thing as vice president that she actually had any hand in. That's the bottom line. So we'll see.
Starting now if you want to.
Okay, yeah, let's hear the first question, Dan, if we have it.
I haven't recalibrated strategy at all. It's the same policies. Open borders, weak on crime. I think she's worse than Biden because he got forced into the position. She was there long before. She destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California as the AG. But as the DA, she destroyed San Francisco. A friend of mine, Bob Tisch, all know the Tisch family. He was in many cities with companies. He said the greatest city in the country is San Francisco. That was about 20 years ago. And he passed away a while ago, and he would be looking down and said, what happened?
All right, we got it, Dan, but you noticed the first question. And it was a little bit more gentle, the little bit that I got there. The reporter didn't say flailing campaign, but changing strategy. It's going to be about that. It's going to be about your campaign is in trouble. Even though I told you, it's only one poll, but CNBC today has Trump up by 2 points, has him up in the swing states. And on the economy, which you think in the end, once the bubble bursts, is going to be the issue, he's up by 20 points. There is no doubt about it. Fox headline, Trump takes questions as Harris dodges. Here we go. She's a dodger of questions. Walsh is a military dodger here of a sort. All right, so we'll dip in if we get into anything where there's a real back and forth over it. I think most of it will be your campaign's flailing. Also, the issue of the debates. Trump this morning talked more about having the debates. Look, I realize the stacked deck going on ABC. But if there was an agreement to go on ABC and Fox, I still think it's worth it because she's not had to do this. Tulsi Gabbard took her apart in a debate where there were 8 people up there, so there was a lot of shielding going on. She's not used to it. She doesn't like it because she's gotten where she has without having to mix it up. And when she does, you see what the result is. So we'll see if they lock anything up today. We start to see this. I think she doesn't want to debate. She may be starting to believe this bubble is going to last forever. I know those things seem demoralizing. Like, how could this last this long? 19 days were going on without any interviews. These things have a way of not blowing up, but gradually the air coming out. And the walls issues are percolating.
You want the second question?
Yeah, let's hear the second question.
I don't know if you can hear it, but a reporter's asking Trump if his strategy has changed because it seems prior to Kamala being ascended as the presidential nominee, he was trying most to appeal to black voters. So,
okay.
Here you go.
Well, it changes around a little bit. I'm getting other voters. Perhaps, I was doing very well with black voters, and I still am. I seem to be doing very well with black males. This is according to polls, as you know. It's possible that I won't do as well with black women, but I do seem to be doing very well with other segments, extremely well with Hispanic. Jewish voters way up. White males way up. White males have gone through the roof. White males way up. No, I don't know. All we're doing is giving you the stats that you have. It could be that I'll be affected somewhat with black females, where we're doing pretty well. And I think ultimately they'll like me better because I'm going to give them security, safety, and jobs. I'm going to give them a good economy. We have a very bad economy right now. We could literally be on the throes of a depression, not recession, a depression. And they can't have that. They can't have that. So I think I'm going to do well with everybody, especially when the facts are out. Yeah, please, in the back. Well, I don't know. I know Josh Shapiro. He's a terrible guy, and he's not very popular with anybody. I think that this election maybe is better than Josh Shapiro would have been. But I think other than Josh Shapiro, I think she had some good choices. But Josh Shapiro is not one of them. He's caused a lot of damage with a lot of people. And I don't think he would have been better. I think he would have been maybe the equivalent, maybe not as good. But they had some people that they were looking at that were good, far superior to her. They actually had a story where they had everybody, including, they had like 10 people that she was looking at and her. And they said she was the worst of all. In other words, she was the worst out of the 10 people and her.
All right. So, again, Dan, what he's going to be accused of here when he said the economy, not just recession, but worse. This is the Josh Shapiro's already sitting in the office. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the attack. Shapiro's going to be saying, have him stop talking blank about the country. He's always running down the country. Now he's running down the economy. He's running down everything that's going on here. That's the angle.
In my opinion, a huge missed opportunity from Trump there. He should have really,
yes,
touted Shapiro and said he would have been a great candidate, but the only reason he didn't select her is because the anti-Semitic left.
I don't know what he's thinking there. Now, the Trump people, Dan, apparently were egging on the running down of Josh Shapiro prior to the pick, and they were smart to do that. The reason they were doing it is you don't want to face Shapiro. Look, if we want to win, you got to not be in fantasy world. If Josh Shapiro were here in Pennsylvania, that makes it a much tougher battle. Still winnable, but it would be more difficult. I mean, I don't even know if Josh Shapiro is actually going to try to win Pennsylvania. He doesn't want Harris to win at this point. He doesn't want to be in the cabinet. I don't even think he would take the vice presidency now if they had to dump the other guy without a lot of things that she won't go for. So God knows who they would go for. But it was a missed opportunity to take out, to say Josh Shapiro was stopped to Jewish voters and others. It's clear why that happened.
Little bite back from Trump here. A reporter asks if Trump is concerned about the size of Kamala's rallies, her live events.
There we go.
Say it.
Are you worried at all about the size of Harris's crowds?
Oh, give me a break. Listen, I had 107,000 people in New Jersey. You didn't report it. I'm so glad you asked. What did she have yesterday? 2,000 people? If I ever had 2,000 people, you'd say my campaign is finished. It's so dishonest, the press. And here's a great example. I had in Michigan recently 25,000 people, and 25,000 people we just couldn't get them in. We had in Harrisburg 25,000 people, and 20,000 people couldn't get in. We had so many. Nobody ever mentions that. When she gets 1,500 people, and I saw it yesterday on ABC, which they said, oh, the crowd was so big. I have 10 times, 20 times, 30 times the crowd size. And no, they never say the crowd was big. That's why I'm always saying turn around the cameras. I'm so glad you asked that. I think it's so terrible when you say, well, she has 1,500 people, 1,000 people, and they talk about, oh, the enthusiasm. Let me tell you, we have the enthusiasm. The Republican Party, and me as a candidate, but the Republican Party has the enthusiasm because people want to see crime stopped. They want to see a country that's respected. Think of it. If I were president, you wouldn't have Russia and Ukraine, where it never happened, zero chance. You wouldn't have had October 7th of Israel. You wouldn't have the horrible withdrawal. And I don't mean the withdrawal because the withdrawal was fine. I was ready to withdraw from Afghanistan, and we were going to do it with
I've got the point on
dignity
that question, Dan. So these questions are all of the sort, and they're not exactly overwhelming today, but they're all of the sort exactly is where they didn't use the word flailing yet, but they're talking in terms of this campaign. Look at what Kamala Harris is doing. Look at the size of the crowds. Now, the added thing is that a lot of these stops, she has some big-time entertainer there that's engaging in it, but it is an enthusiastic period of time for Democrats, without a doubt, but it's a time for Republicans to reset. And the reset, the soft spot here during this giddy period is Walz and the stuff that we've been talking about around not only his military record. It's a tell that they will not go on a tirade saying, how dare you? He's had 24 years in the National Guard, trumped it, and yada, 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 because they realize this guy has violated something that these military people particularly, they're the canary in the coal mine that we've had on, are furious about. And more of it will come out. And it moves the needle in a way in the swing states, in places like Pennsylvania, enough to be very helpful. All right, so we'll continue to monitor and bring you any more that Trump has. What's this question, Dan? Currently with the reporter.
I don't know. I don't know if I can or not. I got him elected. Without me, he wouldn't be governor. I got him elected. He was doing terribly. I got him elected. With that being said, I hope we can repair it, but if we don't, the people are still the people, and they're going to vote. We're leading in Georgia by a lot. We're leading in Pennsylvania by a lot.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Now, in Pennsylvania, I have great relationships. In Georgia, I do too, but unfortunately not with the governor. I've never understood it. When you get somebody elected, they're supposed to like you. He's not exactly, for some reason, and you'll have to ask him about that. Yeah, I'd love to see it get repaired. I think that if we don't win Georgia, Georgia is a big win, is a big state. So I won Alabama by a record. Nobody's ever gotten that many votes. I won South Carolina by a record. You don't win Alabama and South Carolina by records and lose Georgia. It doesn't happen.
All right, that's President Trump here on Talk Radio 1210. We'll dip in more. We got the side question going on. Notice the questions. What are they focused in on here? Even if not, yeah, Jim says it'd be nice if you mentioned the Don Trump Jr. event. I just want to they're focused in on, if not saying the word flailing, Harris's crowd size, what Trump is doing vis-a-vis recalibrating, the guy in Georgia, that's going to hurt you there. They're all internal about the campaign, not about the issues or anything remotely like that. That's where they want to focus because they think this is where the soft spot is now. But I would say these questions are not exactly fastballs at this point. 855-839-1210. You can get on board. Hey, the best place to bet the games this summer is FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Then you can bet on all your favorite international teams and all your favorite sports, from basketball to badminton, soccer to swimming. Don't miss your chance to score $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom to sign up and start betting the games today. Make every moment more with FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
A stalled frontal boundary and the remnants of Debbie will keep the forecast unsettled through the rest of the work week. Clouds today with a few showers around, high 78. Tonight, humid with some showers with a low 72. And a very humid day on Friday with some heavy showers, especially in the afternoon, high 84.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
What if I told you your home movies are already past their prime? It's true. The magnetic tape used in VHS and camcorder tapes only lasts between 10 to 20 years, which means your baby's first steps, weddings, and family vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit legacybox.com/value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to unlock our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/value.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Select's premium package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge. Oh, you people are wonderful. Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee. I hear better than I ever thought possible. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to jabraenhance.com/try. That's JABRA enhance.com/try. jabraenhance.com/try.
No one is happy to discover that the air conditioner is broken, and it always breaks on the hottest day of the summer in the middle of the night. That's why so many homeowners have Oliver's Peace of Mind membership. For as little as $13 a month, Oliver maintains your home's cooling, heating, plumbing, and electrical systems all year long. Membership also includes annual inspections, exclusive discounts on repairs and replacements, and priority emergency service. Call Oliver today or visit us online at oliverheatcool.com.
Retired minister Sam Lepore believes you practice what you preach. Phil Cannella and Joanne Small practice what they preach. They too are protected by the exclusive crash-proof retirement system.
You know, if you're talking about something in your life that you want to share with somebody else, if you're not doing it yourself, then you're a fake. And Phil is not a fake. He's crash-proofed. I mean, he invests in his own crash-proof retirement system. And I said, you know, that gives you joy. And you can see it in his face. Crash-proof retirement has really helped me to have joy. I'm so excited about it that I cannot stop telling people about it. I was looking at the market and seeing 500 points drop. I mean, that's crash. I'm really lucky to be crash-proof.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn on Tuesday, September 17th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. We'll jump back in with President Trump. Most of these questions have been campaign-oriented and not fastballs, I have to say, so far. And he seems to be calling on various people there, underlining that Vice President Harris would not and could not do something simple as this. Luke Capelli, over the years, has been a stalwart. Sometimes we agree, sometimes not. Recently, an agreement that the Camden County model, he is a commissioner director of Camden County Commissioners, has worked in Camden And now Woodland, smaller community, is going to be taken over in the very same way because, at least according to the reports today, they have real police problems getting and retaining police that have resulted in things that are you just can't have them continue. Lou joins us on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Lou, thanks for popping in today. What is it that made the portfolio now of the Camden County Police and Camden Police take over Woodland?
Well, what's happened in Woodland over the years is they've had a tremendous loss in manpower. It's a very small community. It's 0.8 square miles with only 3,000 square people. And they just simply have not been able to maintain enough police officers to have a real police force. They've had a lack of leadership, a lack of superior officers. So the governing body has decided that it's best at this point to join forces with the county and to have the Metro Division of our police department become the police department for Woodland.
So we all know the downside on that potentially. There's a lot of upside. And question is, Lou, how are you guys? We've had the police commissioner on. He was great. How are you guys in this climate, which is very difficult on police, to recruit and keep police? What's the secret sauce in Camden County?
Well, we just recently amended our contract to pay police officers more. So we're investing in police officers, we're investing in their training, and we're making it attractive to come work for Camden County Metro. We've actually had officers who left our department because they thought the pay was not enough in years past, reapply to come join us again because we need to be competitive in what we pay police officers. You know, if we look to towns like Cherry Hill, Gloucester Township, or even the city of Philadelphia, we need to be competitive in order to attract officers, and that's what we're doing. We're investing in our police department.
I think it's more, though, Lou, in your position, though. There's a vibe that the police are supported there, the police chief. There's community policing and all that. But police are not feeling, in fact, I don't even know who the Camden County prosecutor is right now. I know in Philadelphia because of the problems we have. And you spoke to that once about people coming over into Camden. So is that a change, do you think, of a more aggressive approach to supporting the police over the years?
I think the community policing model is what has changed the attitude of residents of Camden. Yeah, that's really what it is. It's our officers are no longer looked at as warriors; they're looked at as guardians. And there's a true partnership between the residents and our police officers. So when we have nights like we have gym nights where we invite children in to play basketball. We have arts and crafts. We have family movie nights. So the more contact that is good contact between our police and our residents, the more the trust between the two grows. And it really helps in preventing and fighting crime. And so I think community policing is really needs to be the focus for communities moving forward.
Well, Lou, thank you. To be continued, too. Thank you for jumping in today. Anytime, Lou.
Oh, thanks. My pleasure.
All right, Commissioner Director Lou Capelli. Dan, Trump asked, let's cut into a little bit about abortion.
I have a couple. I have abortion. I have him defending Biden and saying the undemocratic process that became Kamala being a contender. Yeah. And then I have a gaffe that's going to become national news.
Let's get the gaffe out of the way first here so that we can immediately.
6 were treated very unfairly. And they were there to complain, not through me. They were there to complain about an election.
January 6th crowds.
And, it's very interesting. The biggest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I said peacefully and patriotically, which nobody wants to say, but I said peacefully and patriotically. The biggest crowd I've ever spoken to, and you've seen, Maggie, I was at the mall. I was at the Washington Monument. I was at the whole thing. I had crowds. I don't know who's ever had a bigger crowd than I have, but I had it many times. The biggest crowd I've ever spoken before was that day. And I'll tell you, it's very hard to find a picture of that crowd. You see the picture of a small number of people relatively going to the Capitol, but you never see the picture of the crowd. The biggest crowd I've ever spoken, I've spoken to the biggest crowds. Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me. If you look at Martin Luther King, when he did his speech, his great speech, and you look at ours, same real estate.
I see where you're going. Let's not bring Martin Luther King in here. No gain already started. Come on. Yeah, let's stay away from that. But Trump, one of the signature things he's handled versus other Republicans has been the abortion issue. I've said it from the beginning that he gets it where America is on this. Ron DeSantis playing to Iowa, did not, 6-week ban, not going to fly. Here's the abortion question.
So I think the abortion issue has been very much tempered down, and I've answered, I think, very well in the debate, and it seems to be much less of an issue, especially for those where they have the exceptions, as you know. And I think it's when I look for 52 years, they wanted to bring abortion back to the states. They wanted to get rid of Roe v. Wade, and that's Democrats, Republicans, and independents, and everybody, liberals, conservatives, everybody wanted it back in the states, and I did that. Now the states are voting. And frankly, some of the votes are much more, if you could say, liberal than you would think. Ohio turned out to be, they had a big vote, and it turned out to be a much more liberal standing than people would have thought. Kansas, the same thing. And then you have Texas, and you have other places where it may be different. But the issue has been brought back to the states now. And like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly. I think that that's a very important thing. I think when you have to follow your heart. But when you don't believe in the exceptions, I think it's much tougher. It's a much tougher issue. But about 82% of Republicans do believe in exceptions. I think and a lot of them are changing their mind and coming even further. I think that abortion has become much less of an issue. It's a very small, I think it's actually going to be a very small issue. What I've done is I've done what every Democrat and every Republican wanted to have done, and we brought that issue back to the states. And now the states are voting on it.
Let's stop right there. I mean, I'm masterful answer, except no, Democrats don't want anything brought back to the states. They don't. They want to bludgeon you at the federal level, and also they don't want to solve it in the states. They want to continue to run on it. But to his point, that's what Republicans ought to be saying. That's exactly what they ought to be saying. Why is that so difficult? And I think he's essentially right. Is anybody listening? I don't get any more people bothering me. My God, how can you be pro-life and go along with the exceptions? And you know the mantra, you're not going to win in places like Pennsylvania. You start saying the no exceptions and all the stuff we've gone through with candidates. Ridiculous. Trump was exactly on point. All right, Dan will give us if there's anything major that breaks here. Lightning round is next. Here's how you get in. 855-839-1210.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I can buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit easyOutRealEstate.com. Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus from Investor Schooling. Did you know I have a radio show every Saturday from 1 to 3? It's called The Larry Steinhaus Show, and it's sponsored by Investor Schooling. On this show, you will learn things about finances and things about money that you never knew before. But even more of a reason to listen to this show is how much fun we have. If you haven't heard the banter between me, Omri, and Dr. Deb, you haven't heard the greatest show on earth. Listen to this show this Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on WPHT, and I promise you will learn something.
I am Judith Krupnik, president of Cherry Hill Volvo. I drive an absolutely fabulous XC90 hybrid, the best of both electric and internal combustion. It's really an incredible Volvo. We are offering a $15,000 discount when leasing any 2024 XC90 hybrid in stock. If ever an XC90 was on your list, now is the time to visit Cherry Hill Volvo. $15,000.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Josh Shapiro is back to just being Pennsylvania governor after flirting with being Kamala Harris's running mate. New Philadelphia teachers went through orientation 2 weeks out from the new school year, and the Phillies got back to winning ways after 3 Kyle Schwarber home runs as they beat the Dodgers 9-4 and won the series.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio, now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. Each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit njdiet.com.
Tomorrow's 940 Phillies Diamondbacks game can be heard on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. The Phillies are on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
You're in hot water, mister.
What'd I do?
I told you months ago our utility bills were getting higher because of that old outdated tank water heater.
Maybe it's time we finally switch to a Navien tankless.
Learn about Navient's high-efficiency tankless water heaters, endless hot water, all while helping you save on your energy costs.
Hey, look at this. Our utility bill is lower since we got the Navien tankless water heater.
Who's in hot water now?
We are, all the time.
Learn more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Hey pet parents, the summer season is here, and that means it's time to get outside and enjoy some sunshine with your pet. Hi, I'm George Parenti, the lead dog at the Dogs and Cats Rules stores. The stores are loaded with great summer collections of outdoor and interactive toys. We carry the finest selection of fresh diets, like gently cooked, raw, freeze-dried, air-dried, dehydrated, baked, and of course traditional kibble and cans. Dogs and Cats Rule with 7 neighborhood locations. Visit dogsandcatsrule.pet. That's Dogs and Cats Rule. Shop small, shop local, shop family.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
Yes, the Dom and Dan world-famous lightning round brought to you, sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease the incredibly stylish and fun-to-drive C40, 36 months, for less than $500 per month for qualified buyers. They always go the extra mile for their customers at Cherry Hill Volvo. All right, Dan, we have just one more quick, then we'll go to the lightning round here with President Trump.
We got 2, but which one do you want?
You seem to think this one might be problematic too. What, the Willie Brown one? Let's hear that.
You want Willie Brown? Here's Willie Brown.
Well, I know Willie Brown very well. In fact, I went down in a helicopter with him. We thought maybe this is the end. We were in a helicopter going to a certain location together, and there was an emergency landing. This was not a pleasant landing, and Willie was he was a little concerned. So I know him pretty well. I mean, I haven't seen him in years. But he told me terrible things about her. But this is what you're telling me anyway, I guess. But he had a big part in what happened with Kamala. But he I don't know, maybe he's changed his tune, but he was not a fan of hers very much at that point.
All right, a little bit more too, and this one Trump says all the time, and the truth, we've said it how many years since I started in talk radio. What do Jewish voters need to move away from Democrats, particularly with Israel, with this guy Walz, with Kamala Harris? Here's Trump.
Look, she's been very, very bad to Israel, and she's been very bad to Jewish people. And I say it, if anybody I know is Jewish and they would vote for Kamala over me, they should have their head examined. If you think about it, I gave them Golan Heights. I gave them the capital of Israel, Jerusalem. I even built the embassy.
All right,
I gave
this
them
is
Noah
a cue,
Randall.
Dan. I see him coming to stage in Washington. The second gentleman primed to come out there and take this on of what Trump just said. Here comes the second gentleman. All right. Let's go to Robert in Bensalem here on the lightning round. Robert, thank you for the wait. Go right ahead.
No problem, Dom. Dan, jam-packed show. Loving it, so I'll get right to it.
I'm going to take an industry that is nothing but trends. That would be the weight loss industry. You had the keto diet, the Mediterranean diet, the high-carb diet, the low-carb diet, the cookie diet, the Scarsdale diet. My goodness, they had so many diets. But my favorite one was the vibrating belt machine. I know you remember this, Tom, from when you were a kid, where a large person would stand on a machine with a belt around their waist, and it would shake them violently. I don't know if it worked, but it was funny as hell to watch. But you guys have a great day, and I'm loving the show.
What a call. All right, Scott of Mount Laurel. Scott, what's yours today?
Oh, my God, I had so many things to say. I'll say them another day. And I did play basketball with Nick Foles in 2013.
Oh, wait a minute.
Terrific guy.
Please call in tomorrow on that. Tomorrow, that'll be the side question, too.
So, Scott Laurel, you're a coach similar to Tim over there, the vice president. What's your specialty in basketball? Are you a three-point shot?
My biggest thing is to get the guys to play hard, play together, and play with poise.
Okay. Well, one other thing, though, Scott. Now, you and I are very, very friendly, and Nick Foles wanted to play me one-on-one. Could I keep Nick Foles out of the paint? Could I get a shot off him? That's all I'm asking.
Well, I've never seen you play, but he is a very, very good player, and a very good athlete.
Answer, Scott. Kind answer.
What office are you running from, Scott?
I mean, maybe we should have a little tryout. We'll do a little skills evaluation one day.
Okay, all right.
I like that.
But
what do you have, Scott?
My trend is, unfortunately, is people thinking they are transgender.
Yes, that is a trend. I believe it mostly is a trend. It's based on that, Dan. That qualifies. Joe of Exton. Joe, what's yours?
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon. In the U.S., the execution of criminals is carried out by means of lethal injection and gas chamber. The electric chair is no longer fashionable.
Well put. On brand as usual, Dan. Just follow this guy around.
Yes.
The Earl of Tacony. All right, Earl, what do you have today?
This keeps coming in and out of vogue, and that would be endurance competitions for fabulous prizes. It started during the Great Depression with sitting on a chair on a flagpole. Then they used to have dance marathons until people started dying from dancing for so long. In fact, dance marathons are banned in several states because of it. And in modern times, you have where you have to keep your hand on the car, and the last person with their hand on the car wins, or riding a roller coaster continuously. And I think the last roller coaster contest, there were 3 people that wouldn't get off the roller coaster, and I think they gave all 3 of them the car because they just got tired of having them on the coaster the whole time.
Coaster, guys. That is a great one. And Bruce in the Northeast, this is one too, Dan. Try to explain this. What's yours, Bruce?
Hey, Dom. Now, this trend was everywhere for a while, and when I think about it, I try and picture Dom Giordano sporting a mullet. I can just picture with the hair down the back.
What's that, a mullet to the beard leisure suit with the gold chain for the Don Jr. event?
For Don Jr.
To give you a whole new persona, you know?
Oh, yeah, the mullet. I'm sure people that'll raise our ratings by 0.
Cousin Dommy.
All right. Cousin Dommy. All right, Dan, what do you think today?
The diet industry was a great answer from Robert, a very layered answer. Leisure suit earlier from Charlie in Westchester. Political answer of trans from Scott in Mount Laurel. Endorsement contest, great there from Earl. And the mullet, I thought was a fantastic answer as well.
I like the diet stuff, the call around that.
Cool.
That really hit home.
Oh, and Joe Bexton should be thrown in there as well.
Yeah,
but, Robert and Ben Salem, diet industry.
Those are the home run hitters.
Got it.
Yep. Robert and Ben Salem goes, Nick Foles angle tomorrow. Send me a tweet, email, whatever. What's our best angle for Nick Foles?
All-time great exit speeches?
Yeah, that was the Lou Gehrig. You know what? I like that.
Is there enough of those?
Exit speeches.
Goodbyes.
Yeah, what people said. Lou Gehrig can't be beaten, I think. Luckiest man alive. All right, Rich Cioli is ready to go. I know that. Saw him in the kitchen. He's next for 4 big hours. Back tomorrow at noon. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out.